July 15, 1944, 02:17 a.m., Charon Kanoa Airstrip, Saipan. The humid air reeks of cordite and rotting coral. Colonel Takashi Ogawa, commander of the 47th Independent Mixed Brigade, steps over the body of a dead Marine radio man, boots crunching on shattered coconut radios. His katana still drips. Behind him, 2,000 Japanese soldiers fan out across the moonlit runway, bayonets glinting like frost. A private shouts. Ogawa spins. Floodlights from a captured bulldozer stab across the tarmac, revealing something impossible. A concrete strip 2 miles long, wide enough for 4 B-17s abreast. Not American, not British, something bigger. Ogawa's adjutant, Captain Shigeru Fujimoto, kneels beside a half-buried blueprint fluttering under a Jeep's headlight. The paper is thick, water-stained, stamped top secret in red. Fujimoto's fingers tremble as he traces the silhouette. A wingspan longer than a Zero's fuselage, 4 engines the size of torpedo tubes, a bomb bay labeled 10 tons. "Colonel," Fujimoto's voice cracks, "this is Aslito Field. They finished it last month." Ogawa snatches the sheet. In the corner, a single line in English. Runway rated for Boeing YB-29 prototype, 8,000 feet required. His stomach knots. Tokyo is 1,500 miles north. A low rumble rolls in from the sea. Not thunder, not artillery. Every man freezes. Searchlights sweep the black horizon. Nothing. Then a second rumble, deeper, closer, like the island itself is growling. November 24, 1944, 5:42 a.m., 32,000 feet above Tokyo. You're inside the pressurized belly of Dauntless Dottie, the first B-29 to cross the Empire's doorstep. Colonel Robert Morgan grips the yoke, frost spiderwebbing the windshield. Outside, the air is minus 40 degrees. Inside, the crew's breath fogs in silver clouds. Below, the Nakajima aircraft factory in Musashino glints like a steel anthill. Morgan thumbs the intercom. "Bombardier, doors open." Captain Charles Chuck McKnight peers through the northern sight. His gloved finger hovers. "Target acquired. On my mark." Back on Saipan, 1,500 miles south, Colonel Ogawa stands on the same runway he captured 4 months ago. Now it's American. Floodlights blaze. Ground crews swarm like ants around a silver leviathan taller than a 3-story pagoda. A mechanic waves a red flag. The first superfortress, Jolton Josie, coughs blue flame from 4 right R-3350s. Ogawa's katana is gone, surrendered to a Marine major who didn't bother to look at him. Fujimoto, wrists bound with wire, whispers through cracked lips, "They're flying today." The runway lights snap off. Josie rolls. Tires scream. At 120 knots, she lifts, undercarriage still dripping hydraulic fluid. Ogawa watches the red anti-collision beacon vanish into the dawn. In Tokyo, air raid sirens wail too late. McKnight's voice crackles over the radio net. "Pickle." 130 500-pound incendiaries tumble in perfect formation. The first hits the factory roof at 05:47. Ogawa doesn't hear the explosions. He feels them in his bones, 1,500 miles away when the ground crew radios confirm. First wave airborne, ETA target 1 hour ago.
March 9, 1945, 12:12 a.m. Imperial Palace, Tokyo. The air is thick with cedar smoke and dread. Emperor Hirohito stands on the veranda of the Chiyoda Palace, silk robes fluttering in the furnace wind. Below, the city is a kiln. Major General Curtis LeMay's Operation Meeting House has begun. 279 B-29s, stripped of guns and armor, each carrying 7 tons of M69 napalm bomblets, descend to 7,000 feet. No flak can reach them. No night fighters scramble fast enough. On Saipan, Colonel Ogawa is a ghost in olive drab fatigues, assigned to a labor battalion repairing the very runways he once conquered. He hauls coral rock under floodlights, sweat mixing with blood from split knuckles. Every roar overhead is a superfortress lifting off for the homeland. At 0:15, the first wave releases. 6 million incendiary clusters bloom like hellflowers. Wooden homes, paper walls, entire wards ignite in seconds. The firestorm sucks oxygen from the Sumida River, boiling it. In the palace bunker, General Yoshijiro Umezu, chief of the Imperial Army General Staff, slams a fist on the map table. Where are our interceptors? Silence. The Kwantung Army's best fighters are rusting in Manchuria. A courier bursts in, soot-streaked. Your Majesty, the Kanda district is gone. 15 square miles. The wind, he can't finish. Hirohito's voice is soft, almost a whisper. And the people, the courier drops to his knees. They are burning, sire. On Saipan, Ogawa pauses mid-lift. The night sky pulses red, 1,500 miles away. A chaplain nearby mutters, God help them. Ogawa's reply is barely audible. He already did. With 4 engines and a bomb bay. June 26, 1945. 1400. Aslito Field, Saipan, now renamed Isley Field. The sun hammers the coral like a forge. 150 B-29s line the hardstands wingtip to wingtip, a silver forest of propellers. Colonel Ogawa, sleeves rolled to the elbow, pushes a wheelbarrow of crushed rock past the nose of Boxcar. The name is stenciled in fresh red script. He doesn't know it yet, but in 6 weeks that same bomber will carry a single weapon heavier than every bomb dropped on London in the entire Blitz. A ground crew sergeant, Technical Sergeant Joseph Staborik, tosses him a canteen. Drink, Jap, you'll drop before the coral does. Ogawa gulps. The water tastes of iodine and victory. Over the PA, Colonel Paul Tibbet's voice booms, all crews to briefing. Target weather recon complete. Winds favorable. The tent flaps burst open. Pilots spill out, faces sunburned and grim. 1. Captain Charles Sweeney slaps a folded map against his thigh. Ogawa catches a glimpse. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Kokura. That night, the field never sleeps. Arc lights turn the runways into rivers of white fire. Fuel Bowsers hiss. Armorers winch 10,000-pound pumpkins, concrete-filled grand slams for practice into bomb bays. Every practice run is a promise. At 23:11, the first atomic sortie lifts off. Not boxcar yet, but straight flush, a weather bird. Ogawa watches the navigation lights climb until they merge with the Milky Way. He remembers the blueprint from July, the one that made his hands shake. The runway beneath his feet is now 8,500 feet long, lengthened by his own blistered palms and the bones of his dead soldiers buried in the fill. Somewhere above the Pacific, Major Claude Etherly radios back, cloud cover 0. Primary visual. On the ground, a chaplain lights a cigarette and mutters, Lord, forgive us for what we're about to perfect. Ogawa drops the wheelbarrow. The coral spills like white blood. For the first time since the surrender, he smiles, bitter, broken, and strangely relieved. August 6, 1945. 8:15 a.m. Hiroshima, 1,900 feet above the Ioi Bridge. You're in the bombardier's seat of Enola Gay. Colonel Paul Tibbet's banks left, the city a perfect T below. Captain William Deke Parsons arms the little boy in the bomb bay, sweat beating under his headset. 30 seconds, he says. The uranium bullet is already screaming down the barrel inside the weapon. At 8 hours 15 minutes and 17 seconds, the sky tears open. A white flash, brighter than 1,000 suns, erases shadows from the pavement. The shockwave follows, flattening the city like a boot on an anthill. On Saipan, 1,500 miles away, Colonel Ogawa is on his knees, tamping coral with a steel plate. The PA crackles. Special mission successful. Repeat. Successful. No cheers. Just stunned quiet. Technical Sergeant Staborik, the same man who shared water, now stares at the sky. What in Christ's name did we just do? Ogawa stands. The sun is wrong. Too bright, too still. A single sheet of paper flutters from a clipboard on the flight line, a teletype from Tinian. Hiroshima obliterated. 1 bomb. Casualties unknown. He walks to the edge of the runway. The same concrete he captured, the same strip that launched the fire raids, now the cradle of the end. His shadow stretches long, sharp, radioactive in his mind. August 9th. Nagasaki follows. Boxcar. Fat man. Another flash. Another silence. August 15th. Noon. Tokyo radio. Emperor Hirohito's voice, thin and trembling, crackles over every speaker on Saipan. We have resolved to pave the way for a grand peace, by enduring the unendurable. Ogawa drops the tamping plate. It clangs like a funeral bell. Around him, American crews freeze mid-motion. A navigator weeps openly. A Japanese prisoner nearby bows so low his forehead touches the coral. September 2, 1945. 9:04 a.m. Tokyo Bay, aboard USS Missouri. Salt wind whips the stars and stripes as General Douglas MacArthur steps to the microphone. Below the turret of the 16-inch guns, Colonel Takashi Ogawa stands in a pressed but faded uniform, one of 30 Japanese delegates. His katana is gone. In its place, a white surrender tag pinned to his chest. On the flight deck, Enola Gay's ground crew watches from the rail. Technical Sergeant Staborik clutches a crumpled photo of Hiroshima's mushroom cloud, edges singed. He doesn't cheer. No one does. MacArthur's voice booms across the water. Let us pray that peace be now restored to the world. Ogawa's eyes drift past the battleship's wake to the horizon. Somewhere beyond, Saipan's runways still steam in the tropical sun. He can almost hear the right engine spooling down for the last time. Back on Aslito Field, the B-29s are already being stripped. Armorers yank Norden sights, radiomen coil antenna wire, crews paint over nose art with gray primer. Dauntless Dottie's 4 engines are cocooned in cosmoline, destined for scrap or museums. The coral runway, once a dagger aimed at Tokyo, now cracks under the weight of bulldozers widening it for cargo planes ferrying occupation troops home. A lone Zero, captured intact on Tinian, taxis past the control tower for a final flight to the United States. Its pilot, an American test ferry, waves. Ogawa lifts a hand in return, an involuntary gesture that surprises them both. Night falls. Floodlights dim. The last superfortress, Jolden Josie, lifts off at 2217, bound for California. Her bomb bays are empty, her guns removed, her belly packed with mail sacks and war-weary crew. As she climbs, the navigation lights blink once, twice, then vanish into the trade winds. Ogawa stands alone on the apron. The coral is cool under his bare feet. He kicked off the prison clogs hours ago. He speaks to no one, voice raw from disuse. They built a road in the sky, and walked the empire to its knees. Behind him, a bulldozer. Blade scrapes the stenciled name Boxcar from a hardstand. The paint curls like burning paper. The Pacific is quiet. The runway is quiet. For the first time in 4 years, the only sound is wind through palm fronds and the slow, inevitable tide erasing footprints in the sand. October 12, 1945. 6:30 a.m. Aslito Field, Saipan. Dawn bleeds orange across the coral. Colonel Takashi Ogawa, now officially, civilian internee number 47 to 118, stands at the threshold where the runway meets the jungle. A single B-29, the great artiste, sits alone on the apron, its silver skin dulled by salt and neglect. The rest of the fleet is gone, flown home or scrapped. A Marine sentry, Private First Class Eddie Ruiz, leans against a jeep, chewing juicy fruit. "You waiting for a ghost flight, Colonel?" Ogawa doesn't answer. He's watching a work crew pry up a runway light. The glass shatters. The bulb inside is still warm from the night before. Ruiz offers gum. Ogawa takes it, folds the foil into a perfect square, the way he once folded surrender documents. "My brother flew Zeros from here," he says in careful English. "Before you came, he said the runway was too short for anything but suicide." Ruiz spits pink into the dust. "Guess your brother never met a superfort." A bulldozer growls. It pushes a pile of nose art panels, dynamite, Tokyo Rose, Lucky 11, into a heap for burning. The paint blisters, curls, releases a smell like scorched childhood. Ogawa walks the center line. Every 50 yards, a dark stain, hydraulic fluid, blood, or both. He stops where the blueprint once fluttered under the Jeep headlight. Nothing marks the spot now except a cigarette butt crushed into the concrete. From the control tower, a voice crackles over the PA, final, bureaucratic. Aslito Field runway designation closed effective 1200 hours. All personnel report to embarkation. Ogawa kneels. He presses his palm to the warm coral. It's the same temperature as the tarmac in Tokyo the day the Emperor spoke. He whispers something in Japanese too low for Ruiz to catch. Ruiz lights another stick of gum like a cigarette. You know, Colonel, they're turning this into a transit stop. C-54's full of GIs going home. Then civilians. Tourists. Maybe. Kids'll fish off the end where your Zeros used to rev. Ogawa stands. His shadow is short, sharp, final. Every empire ends in footprints, he says. Yours will wash away first. Ruiz laughs, but it's hollow. He tosses Ogawa the jeep keys. Drive me to the dock. Last boat to Guam leaves at 1100. After that, this rock's just rock. Ogawa climbs behind the wheel. The engine turns over on the first try. He shifts into gear, eases past the burning nose art. In the rearview